Blessings, beautiful souls. I have your oracle card reading here for you today. So we have a lot going on over here in Magical Realm. Lots of beautiful things going on with this amazing moon energy that we've just stepped through. We've got the 7/7 portal coming up, where I have now developed a set for you within our ritual shop where you can purchase our activation. You get a visual activation, an audio activation, and then a ritual as well for the 7/7 portal. The 7/7 portal is an exciting one. It's around your spiritual gifts. It's about the third eye opening. It's about, that clairvoyant kind of energy and your spiritual path and activating those codes in that wisdom. It's deep manifestation. It's a really powerful portal, the 7/7. And I know a lot of you have already reached out regarding that and said, yep, that saved my space. So that is available and selling out quickly. We have, of course, our 5-day challenge still open. So if it's something you would like to feel into, it is our 5-day intuitive card reading challenge, where there's 5 days of card reading with me, completely free. You can just pop down 5-day below, 5DAY. And we also have our beautiful sacred protection ritual guide that I have developed, and that is available as well. Once you're a follower of mine on social media, then you can just hit ritual and it will activate that being sent straight to you. So, and that's a beautiful guide as well. I've been getting such a calling lately for us to shift into that more connection with spirit, like as though the opening of the channel and the clearing of the channel and the connecting with our spirit team seems to be such a really big calling for a lot of us at the moment, as well as activating those wealth codes within us. So, having and finding and bringing forward that abundance, which it all ties in together, right? You need the clear energy. You need to be completely protected in your energy and connected in order for you to channel the spirit team, to gain the wisdom to bring in the abundance. So it's a beautiful kind of array of offerings that we have over Magical Realm. I have Sacred Wealth Codes, which is one of my most loved programs by my clients. I have my Awaken the Channel, which everyone's just like profoundly, wow, I can actually talk to my team now. It's life-changing. And obviously I have my free protection guide and some intuitive little moments there. I've got a clear the channel activation as well. So we have lots of things that are available there to support you, either free or paid. And as always, welcome to explore my ritual shop as well, which is in the bio. Now, you have 3 cards here today for your oracle reading, which are beautiful cards. These cards are the secret language of light. And let me tell you, I want you to really focus in on what's calling you today, because unlike usually when I do my readings, I can see how they link together. Today, I'm getting such an individualized message for each of you. So it feels as though there's a few of you here that need a particular message, and what's coming through here is really strong and really direct with where you're sitting. And it's not harsh like other oracle readings, but it is a little bit sharp in the way that it's a real answer. So if you've been sitting with something lately and it's been feeling a little bit off, or you've just been wanting some guidance, or you haven't been able to sort what's happening for you, then get ready, because you may just receive your answers. 1, 2, and 3, and let's jump in. So with card number 1 today, card number 1 is Whispers. And I love this card for many reasons, one being the beautiful artwork. However, it's all about listening to the voices. It's all about listening to the whispers. It's about being able to sit in the silence and just allowing the energy to merge into sounds that may be recognizable by you. It's also about connecting in and listening to the inner voice. There's a lot of times where our spirit team are absolutely like going, hey, listen, and we're asking for that guidance, but we're not ready to receive it. It's like when you're in an argument with somebody and you've got your point to put across and you're forceful and you're like, actually, no, listen to me. I've got something here to say. And you don't receive because you're in that energy of directing and telling and you're passionate and you're forward motion, you're not able to receive as fully. So you're being asked, if you got this card today, to sit in the receiving mode. Sit in meditation. If you are not doing your meditation practice, this is your sign that you must start. There's not very many things I say you must do. You know what I'm like. I'm very much like, feel into it, see how it feels to you, be guided this way or the other. Meditations are non-negotiable. You want to transcend, you want to raise your vibration, you want to have good protection energy around you, you want to connect with your team, well then there's no other way. So you need to be really good at meditation. If you cannot sit still and be with your own energy in silence for 5 minutes, then that's something you should be working on before you bother working on anything else. And it's okay if the thoughts come through while you're seated or while you're standing. Some people like to do a standing meditation. That's okay as well. It doesn't matter how you meditate. It's about being able to be with your own energy for 5 minutes. If you can do 30, fantastic. Because that's where the clarity comes. That's where the energy gets to stabilize and balance. Meditation is such a vital tool for us to grow, develop, raise our frequency. There's no better way to raise your vibration, to get your rituals to manifest, to get your abundance in, to be able to shift your reality than meditation. And I know some of you are like, but I can't meditate. I hate meditation. Find a way you can. I used to teach 5-year-olds how to meditate. If 5-year-olds can sit down and meditate for 5 minutes, you can do it as an adult. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, I promise you. It's interesting that as I used to teach meditation, I would watch these beautiful souls, and I did it for various age groups. I did it for adults as well. And you would see this as this amazing evolution of these people, these individuals coming in where, their eyes would open, they'd look around the room, they'd be moving their body uncomfortably. Some of them, would laugh or carry on trying to disrupt others around them because they're uncomfortable in their own body, in their own energy. I had grown adults that would come into the space and choose not to participate because it was so uncomfortable for them. Yet I'd have a room full of 25-year-olds at peace, completely entranced with their ability to raise their own energy, connect in with their true essence of their soul blueprint. So I encourage you, this is important today. If you got this card, you need to be able to hear what's being said. You need to hear your soul. You need to be able to hear what is available to you. And you can't do it if you don't stay still or quiet long enough. We go for our walks with podcasts in our ears. And I have no judgment around that. I do the same thing, and sometimes I've got an audio book. But there's a point in my walk where I will take those headphones out. And I will stand in nature, and I will feel into the energy of the trees. And I will connect with spirit, and I will hear the whispers. Card number 2. That was a big one. Just keeps coming through. Spirit wants to go back there. We're not going back there. We're moving on. Divine animals. Now, beautiful animals, our pets, the animals around us are a true reflection of the infinite love that we have within us too. We have such deep love within us. We are birthed out of love. We are here. Our heart is love. Our body is love. One of the places I used to work, they had this mantra, and the mantra was said in a different language, but it translated in English to love is all there is. And if you strip everything back, it comes down to that. In your final moments, I hope you're not holding on to hate and anger. Most people, as they pass, they're holding on to that love. The love that they had, the love that they lost, the love that they're looking to reconnect with. Sometimes it's a lack of love. Love is what drives us. It's at the heart of everything, either love for ourselves or love for others. And the animals, divine animals, is all about seeing the love within your pets or your animals, or the animals you connect with, your spirit animal, and being able to receive that level of love, being able to witness that level of love in them as a mirror of your soul. And so this card often calls for you to sit with animal energy. So if you have your own beautiful pussycat or puppy dog, or who knows what, snake, lizard, I don't know, whatever you've got. Fish might be a bit hard to cuddle into, right? But sit with their energy, because they hold such reflection of what's happening in the environment, what's happening in your heart, what's happening in the family and the greater collective. It is so fascinating that we've just passed through the strawberry moon. And I mean, we don't call it the strawberry moon here in Australia because it's not harvest time for us, but it is that mid-year point, that anchor point, right? And that's what it comes down to. It's harvesting. It's actually sitting with and going, okay, we're ripe, we're ready. We can with structure, because that's all the sign of structure as well. Step in, step forward, be supported to do that. And it's interesting the amount of orders I have had this week for animal healings. And then I've got this card coming through. It's so fascinating to me that we are getting such a shift in our animal frequency, and every animal I have felt into over the last 2 weeks, because this week particularly, I've had a lot actually. I think I've done about 8 or 9 healings this week on just dogs alone. Yes, we've had others, but I've had little pussycats as well, which has been beautiful because I love the cat energy. But we've had such a calling for our little dogs, you know? And what's been interesting around that is a lot of them are holding a huge amount of anxiety. And they're picking that up from you. And they're picking that up from the energies around us at the moment that are shifting and changing us into new timelines. And there's always that worry and that scarcity of, hang on, you're shifting out. Am I going to lose your soul connection? So reassurance, love, and just being, because they will reflect to you what you're feeling. It's very rare I come across an animal that isn't reflecting some component of their owner. So sit with your divine animal. And if it's your spirit guide, the animal spirit team, if you're in my inner circle, you have availability to go back and revisit that big activation we did around your spirit animal. It may be time for you to seek and see if that has shifted, because animal spirit guides can wander in and out, as all spirit guides can, but I find that animals kind of shift as needed as well. Final card. This has been a big reading today. I was going to make it really short today and it didn't work out that way. Let go. Okay, let go. There was a really big message that came through for this third card. It's time to walk away. And I want you to leave the anger at the door. I want you to really reassess who's taking your light, Because while you hold on, and I love this card, I love the light coding. As you hold on to this relationship, to this connection, this really becomes something that takes your light. And it's time to let it go because you're the one anchoring it. I'm not saying to walk away from your very important relationships. I'm saying you need to walk away from the anger or the fear, or you need to walk away from whatever is holding you apart from that. Now, it could be that a relationship could absolutely thrive if you were to let go of some resentment. It could be that it's time to stop and put some boundaries in place and stop your light from being taken. But as you walk forward on your path, there's various aspects of self that also need to be let go. And it's imperative, more now than ever, after this gateway's opened, before we move into the 7/7 portal, that you start to identify what it is that you're carrying that you shouldn't. We don't want to walk into this next chapter carrying our luggage that we'll never use. You think about yourself when you go on a hike and you just take what you need because you know it's going to be a long hike. When you go away on holidays, some of us overpack, some of us underpack. If you knew that you were going to have to carry that pack with you day and night, what would you release? Do a stock take of your energy. Because you know, something that I have read a lot about, and I'm actually really fascinated by the science behind this, is that we can feel an emotion for a number of seconds. It's the story we continue to loop in that holds them and anchors that experience in place. Because the feelings will move through rather quickly once you've acknowledged them, you've felt them, you've seen them, you've named them, and then they move. And I see it happen in all my sessions very, very quickly. You know, when I do Revitalize the Soul Healing and I find a block, and I can say, oh wow, okay, they've got a block in their spleen meridian. That's an interesting block. And I put my attention on it. I feel into it. I do a little healing of release, and it shifts. And that block moves out of the physical, out of the energy, and it's gone. Now, I didn't get into a story with that spleen. I didn't need to know about whatever it was that that person was holding on to, because it prevents me from getting into a cycle and a loop to be able to release it. And so you can do that for yourself very easily. And I notice sometimes it can move about 3 or 4 times before it moves out when it's a big story attachment. When I'm doing relationship healings, I see that the most. I'll see some fear, or I'll see some resentment, or I'll see some resistance is a big one that comes through. And it will shift like 3 or 4 places. It's usually just somewhere for the energy to land, because the mind's spiraling, the mind's thinking, the mind's holding on to it. We are our own worst enemies. We allow and train our energy to hold on to it. We replay it. Just think about when you go through a breakup. Remember that first breakup you went through? That really horrible one. Oh my goodness, I remember mine. It was horrible. Completely my fault, mind you. Probably would have married the guy had I not been who I was back then. And it was so hurtful, so hurtful. It was such a big one. You know, I had other little ones, but that was a big one. And I remember drowning my energy in sadness for ages. Now, I can imagine you did the same thing. You listened to all the sad songs or the songs that reminded you of them. You maybe read through the old letters, had a look at all the pressed flowers that they gave you, whatever it was. And you allowed yourself to loop through that sadness rather than saying, well, that was bad. That hurt a lot. Let me feel that. Oh, wow, yeah, I feel that in my heart. Oh, now I feel it in my right knee. Oh, now it's moved into my left arm. Okay. Oh, there it goes. And it's not as quickly as, there we go, it's done. It will revisit. Things trigger, thoughts, stories, momentums trigger that. But then you can easily know that it's going to shift through. And you can be sad and release it, and then shift forward. The worst thing you can do for yourself is carry something into the future that doesn't belong there. And I've told you that story before of my beautiful friend that has been divorced, the husband's moved on. I'm talking many years ago, and they are stuck in a loop of absolute hurt, anger, frustration, resentment. And what's that prevented them doing? Yeah, finding that happiness, finding their joy, maybe meeting someone else. And I'm not saying it's easy. Definitely not. There comes a time where you have to be ready to let go. You just have to let go, because we're not here for a very long time. We don't know when we're no longer here. But we wanted to come here because we wanted to experience all the things. And we're experiencing them. So don't block yourself from experiencing even more. Because what's going to happen is going to happen. It's your mindset and your willingness to step through it that makes the difference. I'm sending you all so much love for your week. Let me know what you got. Let me know how I can support you this week. If there's something coming up for you, reach out. You know, I'm happy to guide you to say, you know, sometimes it's a matter of me going, you know, I had a beautiful client here the other day saying, you know, I'm just struggling with this. And I said, I've got something for that. Let me help you. And sometimes it's a paid thing. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's I've got a free activation around that, or I've got a free meditation around that, or you need to go back and listen to this, or I've got a blog post on it. Go and have a read about that. That will give you some perspective. If you didn't know I have a blog, you might not have known that. Allow yourself to ask for help where you need it. Honor each other's time. Obviously, don't come with a 20-page email to me, because I don't have time to read that. Come with me, come to me and say, hey, Christy, this is what I'm struggling with. What do you suggest? And I might say, yep, this is what you need. And yes, it may be a paid exchange. You know, if I'm going to spend an hour in your energy and I'm going to help you with that, then there's going to be an exchange. If it's something that I'm like, oh my goodness, just go do this activation, here's a link to it. Easy, right? Feel into the 7/7 portal and just feel into the 7/7 portal and just allow yourself to receive what is needed. Sending you copious amounts of love. I hope that this spoke to you today.